Yo, it's Mac from Never Date Nobody's podcast. I know you see the title, so let's get straight to it. Marc Lamont Hill is a demon. This is one of the reasons why I like him so much. He could be an intellectual on one hand and a drill rapper on the next. Before I get to the story, let me ask you, is it okay to diss the dead, or should you leave them alone? Or is there a time limit in which we should give them grace? Marc Lamont Hill just flamed up Dick Cheney. After finding out that 84-year-old former vice president Dick Cheney passed away, Marc took no time to dance on his grave.
Go ahead and shout your Patreon one more time for him, just so they know where to find some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, Marc Lamont Hill official, man. Go to Patreon, man. Check me out. Early exclusive and extra content.
And the lead story there today, let's get a little sneak peek of that. Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Rest in peace, Dick
job.
Cheney.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Dick Cheney passed away at 84 years old.
That's it. I appreciate the shout out, man.
Come on, man. At least I could do when you're monetizing some of our favorite MCs that passed away.
Monetizing death.
Yeah, come on now. I gotta shout you out.
That's it. Oh.
Tell us about Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney's dead.
He is.
And I'm not happy about it. But for those that don't know,
Not sad either.
no, I'm definitely not sad about it. Dick, his family can mourn. I allow them to mourn, but I'm not going to pretend. Just like Hulk Hogan, he's 10 times worse than Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was interpersonally a piece of shit. This guy is structurally, institutionally, systemically a piece of shit. So, smoking on that Cheney pack today.
He even did a Patreon about it where he titled it, Dick Cheney's Dead, ... Good. Now, according to Marc, and I'm only saying according to Marc because I'm not super familiar with Dick Cheney, but he said Dick Cheney did a lot of foul stuff, manufactured wars, just so he can make a profit off of it.
Dick Cheney was vice president, the most powerful vice president in American history, by far. He was not just vice president, but really the designer behind so much of the policies that George W. Bush enacted. He directed everything, the most important thing being the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah.
Manufacturing the lie that there were weapons of mass destruction and leading to the complete decimation of Iraq. Also, the violation of our civil liberties, warrantless wiretapping, torture, all kinds of things being done here under the pretext that we got to keep America safe.
The Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act, exactly. We got to keep America safe, which was ushered in quickly. So there's the lies about weapons of mass destruction. There's the manufacturing of an entire war and destruction of the entire Middle East.
And profiting off it.
From Halliburton.
Halliburton.
He was
That's
part
what I was
of,
looking
he had a
at.
private investment in the company that does the cleanup after you destroy countries from war. So he's dead, and he's responsible for the deaths of millions of people. So his family can mourn. I allow them to mourn, but I'm not going to pretend. Just like Hulk Hogan, he's 10 times worse than Hulk Hogan.
Now, I will say, when a person does something foul, once they die, it is a little distasteful to dance on the grave. But I do understand the animus also. I will kick a dead person's back in 100 miles an hour in my home. I won't necessarily go to the internet with it. Now, if they've been gone for a long time, I guess it's fair game. People will say all the time, hey, too soon to make that joke. But, there is really no standard or no guidelines on when you should make that joke. Marc just don't give a f. He's going to make that joke the moment he finds out this person's dead. Marc feels like, hey, it is what it is. How long should we keep quiet on these quote unquote heroes who had done a lot of dirt and dark? How long should we keep it quiet before we tell the truth about them? Now, Flip and Joe and Ice, they were kind of in shock about this. It was interesting to hear that from Flip because Flip was on the side with 50 Cent when 50 Cent was kind of making fun of Irv, Gotti dying, whatever. Flip was on that side.
I feel like when you do that, right, you're doing the same thing the other side does when a black person dies. Like you're doing the same exact thing. When somebody, like when Sandra Bland or somebody dies, people make fun, and I feel like you're doing the same exact thing.
I try to,
but you're using facts of how you're showing the person a piece of shit. You do come off in a celebratory way, if you understand what I'm saying.
If people perceive me celebrating when someone who killed millions of people, I'm not talking about Cheney right now, dies, I can live with that. That's not my intent, but if I can live with that. I'm okay being perceived that way.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, so I can live with it, yeah.
Where Joe, he's always kind of stood firm in the middle, like, no, once somebody's dead, I won. I don't need to boast about them being dead. Flip looked at it like, isn't this divisive? If you diss the dead, aren't you doing the same thing that the people that you don't like do? Like when, let's take George Floyd, when he passed, a lot of, white people thought it was cool to make meme pages about him. They thought it was cool to go on Facebook and say that he didn't die from such and such. There's a lot of stuff that went on with the whole George Floyd thing. Also, I mean, look at right now. They just talked about it like last week. You have Martin Luther King and they have him as AI, and they're doing a lot of insensitive with Martin Luther King's likeness. So if you're going to diss Dick Cheney, aren't you the same as the people who diss our heroes? Because Dick Cheney was a hero to some people. And we don't even need to speak on what these Chicago rappers are doing. And with all that being said, Marc still chose violence. It got to the point where Joe was like, I'm not even really going to argue with him. Even though this isn't his ministry, he's like, I know how Marc give it up. Just 3 months ago, Marc was on Hulk Hogan when he died.
For those of you who don't know, Hulk Hogan has passed away.
Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Sorry, I just don't care.
Yo, you was fat.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you was an asshole. All right, let me be professional first. Yes, Hulk Hogan died yesterday at the age of 71 of cardiac arrest. He was a legend. For me, Hulk Hogan, for me, there's two issues. Well, there's a lot of issues with Hulk Hogan. He was garbage in lots of ways. But
Hell of an obituary.
that was the professional part. Now I'm pivoting.
I will acknowledge the pivot.
Okay, end scene. Now, Hulk Hogan, I mean, he was human garbage. I mean, first,
I know about the racial rant.
Yeah.
I know about that. Disgusting.
And it should his sons.
there's that, and the
What he
union
said about his
busting
son.
and the woman beating, and I mean, we're going down the list of things.
He's got
I mean,
a lot
I'm
of
just
shit
saying,
on
like,
his
how long do I
jacket,
gotta
for
wait?
No, go ahead.
I wait for I mean, like, I wait 48
rock out.
hours to tell you ain't shit. Like, at some point, like,
why have to say it?
because if we don't say it, then people will create a story about him that's not true and reinforce that story, and that's harmful to me. I knew Hulk Hogan, right? So I've seen him.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I knew Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I mean,
What do you mean you knew Hulk Hogan?
Mark Lamont Hill, pussy.
Now, I will say, American hero, whatever you want to call Hulk Hogan, dude was racist. And it hits a little harder because Marc knew Hulk Hogan personally. So some of these things just hit a little different for Marc. And that's another thing, sidebar. That's another thing that really makes me like Marc Lamont Hill, because he's been in front of the camera for so long that he actually has relationships with these people. So not only is he well researched, he has a rapport with a lot of these people. So when he says something, I'm not saying take it at face value, but I am saying it comes from a real place, whereas like a lot of us, we're just outside looking in. He is not. Now back to the story. Joe does have a history of basically on people who choose to monetize the death of other people. This was the whole situation with him at Adam 22, where he felt like, you know, you have all these drill rappers up here and you're getting paid off their death. You're basically sending them into the shredder, and when they go back to Chicago, they got to live with that they said on No Jumper. Same thing with even Melissa Ford. You know, before Melissa Ford left, they had that big clash where Melissa Ford, she had Malcolm Jamal Warner on her podcast, and essentially when he passed a few months later, she renamed the title to Malcolm Jamal Warner's final interview, which was seen as offensive to a lot of people, because it's like, you didn't have to do that. People probably would have watched your interview either way, but to put yourself back into the algorithm and to monetize, you chose to take a nasty route. And that's just how Joe has always looked at it. He's kind of always been the moral authority and the police of all things content. But the problem with being the moral police is when you have somebody as dynamic as Marc Lamont Hill, you really can't say nothing, because he's going to get it off, whether you like it or not. And either way, it's going to help you, but he is going to get his shit off. So you just got to step aside and let him do what he's going to do.
Well, I'm not going to stop Marc's. I'm not going to interrupt Marc's views about it. I mean, I sound like a broken record with how I feel about when people die, so I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to waste y'all time with it. Y'all hate them, get y'all shit off.
So now you tell me, is it okay to diss the dead, or is it okay but just within a certain time frame, or should you just let sleeping dogs lie? Tell me what you think in the comments, like and subscribe.